Before starting the story, please subscribe to my channel and watch the video without skipping. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Billy's self-sabotage explodes. Sally was the balance he needed. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, heeds no one's warnings, even from the ones who love him. Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is the most recent person to become collateral damage in Billy's latest effort at self-sabotage. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Citing a need to bring Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, down and use Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, to do it, Billy willfully threw himself back into a rut. The simple reason he did it is ego. Sally became a stabilizer in Billy's life following the heartbreak of losing Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, to Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. So, the danger of losing Sally because of his stubborn intention to get Chancellor back at all costs will make fans wonder if his and Hope's characters should have been written together at all. What happened in Baltimore, Maryland? Billy and Chelsea were solid, or so he thought. Sally forgave Adam for hurting her intensely. They had a long road back to reconciliation and were heading for the altar, or so it appeared. But Adam and Chelsea's romantic connection reignited when they were in Baltimore, Maryland. Their son's OCD issue was diagnosed, and that created an opportunity for their repressed love to re-emerge. This proved to be the basis for splitting Adam and Sally, along with Billy and Sally. What is this? Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson are believable. Adam and Chelsea's history is deep. Their passionate connection is real, and the tie through their son, Connor Newman, Judah Mackey, matters. So, it made sense that the former couple would reunite at some point. Having them do so because of the trauma that involved Connor worked. However, Billy and Sally only happened in reaction to Adam and Chelsea betraying them. Thompson's character and Hope's weren't interested in each other and wouldn't have betrayed Adam and Chelsea in this manner. It could be that the writing staff feels Billy and Sally are played out or aren't working as well as hoped. The coming week's episodes may determine if this pairing is past tense. Going after Victor Newman is foolish. Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, told his brother, in no uncertain terms, not to engage with Victor. Billy disregarded his #1 cheerleader and sole financial backer of Abbott Communications, which was busy work designed to help Billy get back on track. Billy's ingratitude toward Jack is haughty, which should have served as a warning sign to Sally. This is another plot point, with Hope's character not having the ability to influence Billy. If she had or can, then maybe they are destined to remain together. Victor is the king of this town. If Billy brings him down, then viewers will want to wash their mouths out with soap because that will be one of the more unbelievable outcomes in decades, if not ever. Somehow, Billy has convinced himself otherwise. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Billy's self-sabotage explodes. Sally was the balance he needed. Billy Abbott has always been a complicated soul in Genoa City, the kind of man who has the charm, intelligence, and charisma to rise to great heights, yet time and again finds himself trapped in the cycle of self-sabotage. As The Young and the Restless spoilers tease, his most recent spiral could be one of the most devastating yet, not just for his personal life but also for the loved ones who continue to stand by him despite his destructive tendencies. What makes this latest downfall even more painful for fans is the realization that Sally Spectra might have been the balance he desperately needed at this point in his life, but Billy's actions may have pushed that possibility out of reach. Billy's life has been defined by turbulence. From childhood traumas to constant battles with addiction, recklessness, and questionable decisions, he has never fully found steady ground. While his family loves him, there is an underlying fear that no matter how far Billy comes, one wrong move could topple him back into chaos. And now, spoilers suggest that wrong move may already be unfolding. The whispers around Genoa City indicate that Billy's latest actions won't just affect him, but could set off a ripple effect that alters the entire Abbott family dynamic. The timing could not be worse, especially as the corporate wars heat up and personal relationships strain under the pressure of betrayal and mistrust. Sally Spectra's name has become a lightning rod in Genoa City, representing both chaos and unexpected stability. Her past is riddled with schemes, ambition, and betrayals, yet she has shown signs of real growth since arriving on the Y&R canvas. Unlike some of Billy's past partners, Sally brings a raw honesty to her relationships, even when she is flawed. She has made mistakes, but she owns them. And in many ways, she could have been the anchor Billy needed to keep him from spiraling into his usual patterns of destructive behavior. Their chemistry is undeniable, and while their relationship never reached the depth of some of Billy's previous romances, the potential was there for something transformative. Sally has always been a survivor, and she recognizes survival mechanisms when she sees them, Billy's self-sabotage included. The tragedy is that Billy may not realize what he had, or could have had, until it is too late. Spoilers tease that his actions, whether fueled by reckless ambition, mistrust, or inner demons, are going to cost him dearly. There is a strong suggestion that Billy's decisions in the coming weeks will alienate allies and put him in direct opposition to some of Genoa City's power players. He has always had a tendency to burn bridges, even with those who were rooting for him, and this time Sally might decide she isn't going to get caught in the flames. If Billy pushes her away or betrays her trust, Sally could easily walk back into the orbit of Adam Newman, Nick Newman, or even strike out on her own with a renewed focus on career and independence. What makes this situation particularly heartbreaking is that Sally could have been the stabilizing force to help Billy grow. Unlike other women in his past, Sally isn't afraid to challenge him, call him out on his nonsense, or hold a mirror up to his flaws. That dynamic could have been what finally broke his pattern of falling apart when things get too good. Unfortunately, spoilers suggest that Billy's latest implosion is happening at a time when he needed Sally most. The irony is thick. Just as he might have found someone capable of balancing him, his demons seem to be winning again. Family will no doubt play a major role in this unraveling. Jill Abbott has always tried to mother Billy, often with mixed results, and Jack Abbott has been both a brother and a father figure at times. But even their patience has limits, and Billy's choices could test those bonds. If he turns to risky business decisions, dangerous alliances, or destructive behaviors, the Abbotts could be forced to distance themselves, leaving him isolated. Without family support and with Sally possibly backing away, Billy could find himself in one of the darkest chapters of his life. Still, soap operas thrive on redemption arcs, and fans know that Billy Abbott is a character who, no matter how often he falls, always finds a way to claw back to redemption. The question is how far he will fall this time before realizing that Sally's influence was the balance he needed all along. Could this downfall be the wake-up call that pushes him to finally confront his inner demons in a lasting way? Or will he continue the cycle, losing the chance at real happiness yet again? The Young and the Restless thrives on messy relationships, and the Billy-Sally dynamic has the potential to be one of the most complex in recent memory. It's not about sweeping romance or picture-perfect love, it's about two flawed people who might actually make each other better if given the chance. But spoilers hint that Billy's inability to stop self-sabotaging could rob them, and the audience, of that storyline. Sally may decide she deserves more than being dragged down by someone who refuses to fight for his own happiness. For fans, this arc promises drama, heartbreak, and maybe even a glimmer of hope. Billy's implosion will no doubt cause collateral damage, and Sally's choices in response will be pivotal. Will she walk away for good, throwing herself back into career-driven ambition and possibly reconnecting with old flames? Or will she stay long enough to remind Billy of what he could become if he stopped destroying everything good in his life? Either way, Genoa City will feel the aftershocks of Billy Abbott's self-sabotage for months to come, and the fans will be watching closely to see if he can rise from the ashes, or finally crash for good. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy's self-sabotage explodes, Sally was the balance he needed. Billy Abbott's pattern of destructive behavior is once again threatening to consume him, and the Young and the Restless spoilers suggest this could be one of his most devastating spirals yet. Billy has never been a stranger to self-sabotage, but this latest implosion may finally push away the one person who seemed capable of grounding him, Sally Spectra. For longtime fans, it's heartbreaking to watch Billy repeat the same cycles that have haunted him for decades, but it's also riveting storytelling that digs deep into the core of his character. Billy has always lived life on the edge, whether through reckless gambling, questionable business decisions, or impulsive romantic entanglements. His charm and intelligence often allow him to bounce back from disaster, but every time he rebuilds, another destructive streak follows. This time, his self-sabotage is colliding with the fragile balance he was beginning to find with Sally, and the fallout could be monumental. Genoa City is about to watch as Billy's inner demons take center stage once again, with ripple effects stretching across the Abbott family, the Newman Empire, and Sally's future. Sally Spectra's role in Billy's life has been a fascinating one. She is not the type to put up with games or indulge in self-pity. Her own history of questionable choices and determination to survive gives her a unique perspective on Billy's struggles. Unlike others who either coddle him or condemn him, Sally calls it like she sees it. She pushes him to do better, challenges his reckless instincts, and in some ways represents the balance he has always lacked. It is exactly that fiery honesty that makes her so important to his arc. She doesn't enable him, but she also understands his pain. Unfortunately, spoilers indicate Billy may be too far gone into his destructive spiral to recognize what Sally represents. His latest moves in business and personal life suggest a man careening toward disaster. Whether it's taking reckless chances with Chancellor Winters, clashing with family over corporate strategies, or pushing away the one person who is rooting for him, Billy seems determined to destroy himself. For Sally, the decision may soon become whether to keep fighting for him or to walk away before he drags her down too. The timing of Billy's implosion couldn't be worse. The Abbott family is already facing tensions, and Jill Abbott is rumored to be returning to shake things up. Jack Abbott, who has spent much of his life trying to rescue Billy, may finally reach a breaking point. And with corporate battles heating up against Victor Newman and the Newman family, Billy's recklessness could cost the Abbotts dearly in the boardroom. His personal spiral isn't just about relationships, it has the potential to shift the balance of power in Genoa City. For Sally, the path forward is just as complicated. Adam Newman still lingers in her orbit, and Nick Newman has proven he will always be a steady presence in her life. If she gives up on Billy, she has options, but none of them come without baggage. Fans have watched Sally evolve from a schemer to a woman struggling for stability, and choosing between independence, ambition, and romance will be a defining moment for her. If she sees Billy as a lost cause, she may throw herself back into her career or even reignite sparks with Adam, whose own dark tendencies mirror Billy's in many ways. What makes this storyline so compelling is the raw emotion behind it. Billy's struggle isn't about villains or external threats, it's about the war inside himself. Sally could have been the balance he needed, the partner who wouldn't let him self-destruct without a fight. But if he pushes her away, fans will be left to wonder if Billy is destined to spend his life sabotaging every chance at happiness. Will this downfall be the wake-up call that forces him to finally break the cycle, or is he doomed to repeat it forever? The fallout promises to be explosive. The Abbott family will face hard choices about how far they are willing to go to protect Billy. Sally will have to decide whether love and loyalty are enough to withstand another storm. And Genoa City will once again watch as Billy Abbott proves why he is one of the most complex, frustrating, and fascinating characters on The Young and the Restless. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy's self-sabotage explodes, Sally was the balance he needed. Billy Abbott's spiral isn't just about him this time, it's about the ripple effect tearing through the people closest to him. At the heart of this fallout stands Jill Abbott, the matriarch who has spent years trying to steer her son toward a better path. Spoilers suggest Jill's return to Genoa City comes right as Billy's destructive behavior hits a fever pitch, setting the stage for a dramatic mother-son clash. Jill has always been both Billy's fiercest defender and his harshest critic, and her involvement now could either save him from himself or push him further into isolation. Jill knows Billy better than anyone, and that's exactly why she may not be fooled by his excuses. In the past, she's tried tough love, she's tried empathy, and she's even turned her back on him when she thought it was the only way to force change. But this time feels different. If Billy's reckless decisions threaten Chancellor Winters, the company Jill has worked tirelessly to protect, she won't hesitate to step in. The family business has always been a source of pride for Jill, and she won't let her son's demons drag it into ruin. Expect Jill to make power moves that force Billy to face consequences, even if it means cutting him out of key roles or aligning with others to secure the company's stability. This intervention could put Jill directly at odds with her son, creating explosive drama. Billy, in his usual self-destructive cycle, may lash out at the very person trying to help him. Their relationship has always been layered with love, resentment, and unspoken pain, and this return could bring all of those emotions boiling to the surface. Fans may see Jill deliver one of her classic reality checks, reminding Billy that he has squandered too many chances and that his behavior isn't just hurting him, it's hurting everyone around him. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra is caught in the middle of Billy's collapse. Spoilers tease that Sally will find herself at a crossroads, continue standing by Billy and risk getting dragged down with him, or finally walk away to protect herself. Sally has always been a fighter, but she also knows when to cut her losses. If Billy continues to spiral, she may decide she's had enough, opening the door to multiple rebound storylines. Adam Newman, for one, has never fully let go of Sally, and her vulnerable state could easily draw her back into his arms. Their chemistry, passion, and shared flaws have always made them combustible together. Nick Newman, on the other hand, represents safety and stability, qualities Sally may crave after the chaos with Billy. Though their romance ended, Nick has never stopped caring about her, and the possibility of a rekindling remains. Or perhaps Sally will chart an entirely new course, focusing on her career and re-establishing herself as a powerhouse independent of any man. Fans love Sally's resilience, and watching her rise stronger after heartbreak could be exactly the kind of story that solidifies her as one of Genoa City's central players. What makes the Sally-Billy dynamic so heartbreaking is that she really was the balance he needed. Sally isn't the type to sugarcoat or enable, she would have pushed Billy to confront his flaws head-on. In another timeline, their pairing could have been transformative, a relationship where two flawed people helped each other heal. Instead, Billy's inability to break the cycle of self-sabotage may cost him the very person who could have anchored him. If Sally walks away, it will be with a sense of finality, leaving Billy to wrestle with the realization that he destroyed something that could have saved him. The Abbott family's response will be just as pivotal. Jack Abbott has always tried to play savior for Billy, but spoilers suggest he may begin to lose patience. If Billy's behavior threatens not only his own happiness but the stability of Jabot and Chancellor Winters, Jack might side with Jill in pushing Billy out of positions of influence. This would be a devastating blow to Billy's pride and could drive him deeper into reckless choices. Ashley Abbott, meanwhile, has enough of her own battles, but she may not be able to stay out of the family drama for long. At its core, this storyline isn't just about romance, it's about identity, legacy, and whether Billy can finally confront the demons that have haunted him for years. His choices now will define not only his future but also the Abbott family standing in Genoa City. And with Sally's fate hanging in the balance, viewers are in for an emotional roller coaster. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy's self-sabotage explodes, Sally was the balance he needed. If there's one man in Genoa City who thrives on the weakness of his rivals, it's Victor Newman. Spoilers suggest that Victor is watching Billy Abbott spiral with cold calculation, waiting for the perfect moment to turn Billy's chaos into Newman advantage. For decades, the Newmans and Abbotts have clashed in business and in family feuds, and Billy's reckless unraveling provides Victor with exactly the kind of opportunity he loves to exploit. Victor has always considered Billy a liability, not just to himself but to anyone who dares trust him. If Billy is destabilizing Chancellor Winters or jeopardizing Jabot, Victor may swoop in to pick apart the wreckage. This could come in the form of a hostile business move, a takeover play, or simply feeding Billy's worst instincts until he implodes completely. With Victor, it's never just about power, it's about proving a point. And what better way to remind Jack Abbott of his brother's flaws than by showing the world how easily Billy can be dismantled? Nick and Victoria Newman may also find themselves pulled into this dynamic. Victoria, who shares a long, complicated history with Billy, knows firsthand how destructive his patterns can be. Part of her may still care about him, but she also won't let his behavior threaten Newman Enterprises' standing. If Billy's actions intersect with Newman business, Victoria could be forced to draw hard lines, placing her firmly in opposition to him. Nick, on the other hand, has his own stake in this saga through his history with Sally. If Billy loses Sally due to his spiral, Nick might quietly re-enter the picture, adding yet another emotional layer to the fallout. And then there's Adam Newman, the perpetual wild card. Adam's history with Sally is fiery, emotional, and unresolved. He has never truly gotten over her, and if Sally finds herself heartbroken and disillusioned with Billy, Adam could see this as his second chance. Unlike Nick, who would offer her stability, Adam thrives on chaos, which makes him dangerously appealing to Sally when she's vulnerable. In many ways, Adam and Billy are mirrors of each other, men with dark tendencies, haunted by their mistakes, and constantly fighting the perception that they will never change. If Sally is forced to choose between two men with destructive streaks, fans can expect some explosive drama. Victor, of course, would relish Adam's involvement in this mess. His fractured relationship with his son has always been laced with control, disappointment, and manipulation. If Adam uses Billy's implosion as a way to win Sally back, Victor may seize the chance to pit them all against each other, destabilizing both the Abbotts and his own children while tightening his grip on Newman Enterprises. This is classic Victor strategy: find the cracks in his enemies' lives and hammer them until they shatter. The corporate fallout could be just as juicy as the personal one. Chancellor Winters, already a hotbed of internal conflict, might be shaken to its core if Billy's self-destructive decisions compromise the company's standing. If Jill returns to save the day, Victor may try to outmaneuver her, setting up an Abbott versus Newman corporate war. And if Jabot gets pulled into the drama, Jack Abbott may once again be forced into a position where he has to clean up after his brother while fending off Newman power plays. For Sally, this entire situation represents a test of strength and identity. If she walks away from Billy, she not only protects herself but also reclaims control of her life in a way that could make her one of Genoa City's most powerful independent players. Yet the emotional pull of Adam, the steady reliability of Nick, and the wreckage left by Billy all but guarantee that Sally's journey won't be straightforward. The irony is that while Billy sees her as the balance he needed, Sally may realize she doesn't need to be anyone's anchor, she needs to be her own. What's clear is that Billy's spiral is more than just a personal crisis, it's a storyline that could reshape the balance of power in Genoa City. The Abbotts, the Newmans, and Sally herself all stand to be impacted by his implosion. And as Victor circles like a shark, ready to strike at any weakness, Billy may find that his self-sabotage doesn't just destroy his own happiness, it hands victory to his greatest rival.